Hi everyone, my name is Teresa and this is English Vibes TV, the place where you can practice your English listening through real stories and powerful ideas. Today's story is not just about money, it's about life, time, and what truly matters. Have you ever asked yourself how much of your life you are trading for money? Most people don't even realize it, but every morning when we wake up to go to work, every time we buy something we don't really need, we are making that trade, hours of our life in exchange for money. The book Your Money or Your Life by Vicky Robin and Joey Dominguez has been called one of the most important financial books ever written. It's not just about how to earn more or spend less. It's about redefining what it means to live. Since it was first published in 1992, this book has inspired millions of people and helped create the FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early. But at its heart, it's not about retiring early. It's about understanding the true relationship between your time, your energy, and your money. You see, money isn't just money. It's the physical representation of your life energy. You give time, the most precious, non-renewable resource you have, in exchange for it. Think about it. That new phone you bought, maybe it cost you 20 hours of your life. That restaurant dinner last weekend, maybe 3 hours. And those little online purchases you don't even remember. Add them up, they represent weeks, even months of your life energy. Now, ask yourself, was it worth it? The authors say that financial freedom begins when you start to see money not as paper or numbers, but as a life energy. Every dollar you spend should reflect something that truly brings you value, not just fill a temporary desire. In the early stages of life, of course we need money to survive, to eat, to have shelter, to stay warm. But once our basic needs are met, something strange happens. We keep chasing more stuff, more comfort, more luxury, believing that more will make us happier. And for a while, it feels like it does, until it doesn't. The authors described this beautifully in something they called fulfillment curve. At first, the more money we spend, the more satisfied we feel. We move from survival to comfort to enjoyment. But eventually, we reach a point where extra spending no longer brings extra happiness. In fact, beyond that point, every new purchase brings less fulfillment and more stress. That's where the magic words appears. Enough. Enough doesn't mean settling for less. It means knowing that what you already have is enough for a meaningful, comfortable, and peaceful life. When you reach enough, you stop being trapped in the endless money game. You stop comparing yourself to others. Who has the bigger house, the fancier car, the latest gadget? because you realize something profound. The real wealth is having the freedom to stop playing the game. The book also teaches us to track every cent, literally. That means understanding where your money goes every month. Because awareness is the first step to control. When you write down every dollar you spend, you start to notice patterns and you start asking the hard questions. Do I really need this? Is this bring me joy or just noise? When you do that, something changes in your mindset. You stop being a passive consumer and become an active designer of your life. Another key lesson in the book is redefining success. In our society, we often measure success by job titles, cars, or houses. But none of that really defines our worth. Your job is just a way to trade time for money, but it should never define who you are. You are not your paycheck, your position, or your possessions. You are the sum of your time, your choices, and your values. And that brings us to another truth from the book. Debt is a dreamer destroyer. Debt keeps you locked in jobs you don't like, routines you don't love, and lives you didn't choose. Because every month your paycheck doesn't go to building your dreams. It goes to paying for your past. Financial freedom isn't about having millions. It's about having the option to say no. No to a toxic job. No to things you don't believe in. No to trading your time for something that doesn't make you feel alive. Imagine waking up and knowing that you could stop working if you wanted to, that your needs are covered, your debts are gone, and your time is truly yours. That's real wealth. The authors also emphasize a beautiful truth. Frugality isn't about deprivation. It's about appreciation. It's not about spend less money. It's about enjoying more of what you already have. And when you love what you own, when you use it fully and with gratitude, you are already living a rich life. And finally, your money or your life ends with a challenge. One that might make you uncomfortable, but could change your life. Ask yourself the hard questions. If you didn't have to work for money, what would you do with your time? What have you done with your life that you are truly proud of? And if you knew that next year was your last, how would you spend it? These questions are powerful because they remind us that money is only a tool, not the goal. The goal is a life that feels free, meaningful, and aligned with who you really are. So, maybe it's time to look at your own money game and ask, am I working to live or living just to work? Am I chasing more or am I ready to find my enough? Because once you do, once you find that balance, that's when you truly win the game of money and the game of life. If you liked the subject, please let me know in the comments and tell me if you are working to live or living just to work. and if you are ready to find your enough. Thanks for watching English Vibes TV, and remember, English is better when you feel it. See you next time. Bye.